there, I'm Tiffany Rodius from the Ghana Revenue Authority. This week we focus on tax measures introduced in Budget 2024 and some important due dates to keep in mind. Focus on GRA begins now.
Have you ever received a phone call from someone sounding like this?
Before we grant you access to come in to upload your cash along with the keys to this brand new vehicle, you need to get the tax and VAT cleared. What you'll have to do, you'll need to let me know if you think you are available having $250 to get your tax and VAT cleared.
Tax advance?
Or maybe you were approached by a stranger who offered to help you with a transaction at the GRA for a small fee, of course.
Don't worry about that, though. Just give me the documents, it's 20,000, and I get you compliance.
Well, if ever you encountered one or both of these two situations and you gave in, then you were the victim of a fraudster. Here's what to do if you suspect that someone is trying to scam you in the name of the GRA. Firstly, all payments must be made to the GRA's cashier. And please note, an official receipt will be accompanied by all payments. It therefore means that no one should collect money from you on behalf of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Alternatively, taxpayers can utilize GRA's online digital payment options at banking institutions such as GBTI Republic Bank and Demerara Bank, or GTT's mobile money. That's right, payment with just a click of a button.
Done.
If you encounter a scammer or you suspect a scam, then you should request the name and ID of the person posing as a GRA representative, since all staff of the GRA are required to carry identification cards while executing their duties. Report suspected scammers or imposters to the GRA's Special Investigation Unit by calling its hotline 225-5051, or you can send an email to siu@gra.gov.gy. In its capacity as a supervising authority under the Anti-Money Laundering and Countering the Financing of Terrorism Act, the Ghana Revenue Authority presents to you this factoid. Money laundering. Money laundering is the processing of criminal proceeds to disguise or conceal their criminal origin. Simply put, it's the process by which criminals make dirty money obtained from their criminal activities look legitimate or clean.
Welcome to Focus on GRA. In this new year, we will continue to provide you with information on all things tax-related to help you be more compliant. We begin the program by highlighting the tax measures that were introduced in Budget 2024 to increase disposable income. The 2024 national budget was passed in the National Assembly on Friday, February 2, 2024. Here's more details. Among the measures to increase the disposable income of citizens was the increase in the income tax threshold. The new income tax threshold has been adjusted upwards to $100,000 monthly. This was announced by Dr. Ashley Singh, the Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, during his presentation of the national budget in the National Assembly.
As a result of adjusting the income tax threshold to $100,000, Mr. Speaker, 13,000 persons will be removed from paying income taxes and will result in $4.8 billion being transferred to the disposable incomes of workers.
This new threshold takes effect in the year of income 2024. This is the third consecutive year that the government has increased the income tax threshold. In 2022, the income tax was increased from $65,000 to $75,000 monthly. Last year, the income tax threshold was further increased to $85,000 monthly. The adjustment in the income tax threshold is part of a slew of tax measures in the 2024 national budget, which is aimed at increasing disposable income for individuals and businesses.
Our government remains firmly committed to implementing sustainable measures that will aid the continued development and expansion of the productive sectors, while also bringing relief and improving well-being at the household and individual level. The measures proposed in Budget 2024 are all aimed at improving the welfare of our citizens, creating opportunities for our citizens, while facilitating and promoting job creation and income generation.
Another tax measure aimed at reducing the taxable income for individuals and businesses is the increase in the deductible ceiling for medical and life insurance.
To further incentivize citizens to protect themselves with life and medical insurance, themselves and their families with life and medical insurance, I wish to announce an increase in the deductible ceiling from $30,000 to $50,000 monthly, or 10% of their income, whichever is lower. This intervention will reduce the taxable income and consequently the tax payable by the taxpayer and facilitate greater access to coverage, both life and medical insurance, and make both life and medical insurance more affordable.
In 2022, the government introduced the deduction of medical and life insurance premiums from an individual's chargeable income. The aim of this tax measure sought to encourage persons to obtain medical and life insurance policies.
My name is Dindia also, and I'm a tax consultant. I'm encouraging all professionals, be you an accountant, a doctor, or an attorney who are self-employed. I would like to take this opportunity to encourage you to ensure that all your taxes owing are paid up to date, or if not, arrangements are made with the GRA to have it paid, and that will enable you to obtain your practice certificate.
Welcome back to Focus on GRA. The tax measures introduced in the 2024 national budget were not only intended to increase disposable income, but also aimed at easing the cost of living for many Guyanese. Here are tax measures that the Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh introduced to improve the welfare of citizens while facilitating and promoting job creation and income generation. The government has extended its provisions of 0% excise tax on fuel. Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, explained during his Budget 2024 presentation that this measure seeks to cushion the volatile fuel prices on the international market.
As world market fuel prices remain volatile, we remain responsive to absorbing the impact of elevated fuel prices as a means of mitigating the transfer of higher fuel costs to the Guyanese people and to the Guyanese productive sector. This measure will be kept in place while fuel prices remain elevated.
In the 2022 budget, excise tax on fuel was reduced from 20% to 10%. However, in March 2022, the excise tax on fuel was further reduced to 0% to cushion global increases in fuel price. The government has maintained the 0% tax on petroleum products since then. The Finance Minister also announced the extension of relief for freight charges for imports. This measure aimed to shield customers from the burden of shipping costs that importers may have otherwise transferred onto them.
The measure was initially implemented for a 6-month period from August 1st, 2021 to January 31st, 2022. It was subsequently extended to December 31st, 2023. Mr. Speaker, recently we have seen an increase in freight prices associated with bottlenecks in both the Panama and Suez canals. In order to mitigate transmission of escalation of freight prices, I wish to announce an extension of this measure for a further 12-month period to 31st December 2024.
Meanwhile, tax measures were announced to support young people and the vulnerable. As it relates to young people, Budget 2024 will see the removal of value-added tax on sports equipment and technology.
In order to further promote access to both sports and technology for our young people, we will remove VAT and duty on sports equipment, and we will remove VAT and duty on essential sports accessories, such as chargers, charging cables, headphones, etc., along with cell phone components for repairs.
Previously, the government had removed VAT on data for residential and individual use. Applicable taxes on cell phones were also removed. The minister also announced the removal of duty and VAT on firefighting equipment.
We have been investing, as I elaborated earlier, significantly in boosting the firefighting capability and responsiveness of the fire service. In order, sir, to promote household fire prevention capabilities, we propose, sir, the removal of VAT and duty on fire extinguishers and smoke alarms.
According to Dr. Singh, these tax measures, in addition to the other measures announced in Budget 2024, will provide over $70 billion to businesses and individuals. The minister assured that the government will continue to mitigate the impact of challenges while providing relief to its citizens.
If you're self-employed, it means that you are your own boss. You have your own business, and you set the charges for the goods and services you provide. As a self-employed person, you are assessed for income tax based on your chargeable income. That is, the amount remaining after expenses are reclaimed. Therefore, when submitting an income tax return for a year of assessment 2024, you must submit the following: income and expenditure or profit and loss statement, balance sheet of assets and liabilities, loss schedule if applicable, wear and tear schedule if applicable, certificate of deduction, that is, set-off letter or certificate, such as a coal board letter or 2% withholding certificate if applicable. April 30 is the due date for the submission of tax returns and the payment of taxes due and outstanding. For more information, contact GRA's Tax Advisory Services, 227-6060, extension 8000.
This is your Questions in Focus. Today, joining me is Ms. Rhonda Griffith, who will be answering questions in relation to the individual tax return. Ms. Griffith, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards.
Our first question is from Mr. Bacchus, and he would like to know what are the documents that must be submitted along with the income tax return.
An employee must submit their 7B or emolument slip, that's the original part, with their return since it is mandated by law for them to do so. For a self-employed person, an income and expenditure statement or a profit and loss account and a balance sheet and any other additional schedule such as wear and tear and loss relief. Also, persons who are MIR recipients must also submit their Form 4 from their lending institution.
Mr. Singh is also inquiring, why is it important to have your 7B or emolument slip stamped and signed?
It is important to have the 7B stamped and signed, which proves authenticity and provides identification of the organization that made the deduction and to whom the taxes were deducted from.
Thank you so much, Ms. Griffith. For more information, do contact us on the telephone numbers that are listed at the end of the program.
And that is all for this week's Focus on GRA. In the coming weeks, we will break down the implementation of the tax measures introduced in Budget 2024. Stay tuned for these. And don't forget, you can send us your inquiries via email, grapublicrelations@gmail.com or taxadvisory@gra.gov.gy. And follow us on our social media pages for up-to-date tax-related information. Thank you for watching. I'm Tiffany Rodias. Until next time.